Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. I would like to give double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule exceptionally well, continually feeding the flock with 100% truth and doing it free of charge. Also, I would like to say shalom, salutations, mercy, and blessings to all sincere brothers that's out there that push this word with truth and with faith, man. Shalom unto you. Also, a hearty shalom to you, sincere sisters, the few of you that is out there attempting to do the right thing in the sight of the Lord, man. Shalom unto you, okay? My name is Tabawa Amath of Great Millstone Northwest. I'm coming back with another HADABAR, HAYAWAM. HADABAR means the word. HAYAWAM means the day, and the word of the day is going to be the word SAKAK. Before I continue, I do want to issue an apology. I ended up doing a word twice over, okay? The word Yeshai was something that I put up yesterday. I was out and about all day yesterday, so I didn't have my regular routine going on. And about the time I got back to the house, it was kind of late for me at least. And I, did a word that I thought that I hadn't did before, but it seemed kind of familiar. And then after it was uploaded, I had realized that I had indeed already did the word Yeshai. Okay, so the word Yeshai meaning to save or to be delivered. I did it twice. I think I named it HADABAR HAYAWAM run back or something of that sort. I would try my hardest not to do that often. Okay, I created a better system of keeping track of the words that I've gone over already. Okay, so Salakia on my part for that. Anyway, the word today is going to be the word sakak. Okay, that's made up of the three Hebrew characters sa, ka, and then another ka. All right, this is a verb and it means to hedge or to fence about. All right, and it we're gonna look at it through the Strong's H5526. So let's pull up this. Let's type that in H5526. And there we go. Okay. Now, there's 5 characters within the Hebrew alphabet that when they end the word, they take a different form, and the ka is one of those characters. Okay. You see the ka here in the middle. All right. That's how it would normally look unless it is the final character of the word, and then it will look more like a elongated da versus it looking like a ka. Okay. Which kas are, pretty similar in appearance to the letter ba. But anyway, enough of that. I digress. This is a verb. All right. The Strong's definition of this verb, sakak, is to entwine as a screen. All right. By implication, to fence in, cover over, figuratively to protect. All right. We're continuing in our defense line of words. All right. We've covered a couple of words. This is why we went back over the word Yeshai, which means to save or to be delivered. We've seen a couple of words on the sense of defend at this point. All right, in our HADABAR HAYAWAMs, we've looked at the word. Let's see some of these words that we have looked at recently. Okay, Slakia. We've looked at the word Ganan, which means to defend. All right. We've looked at the word kasa, which means to seek refuge. All right. We looked at Yeshai twice now. And now we're looking at this word sakak, all right, which means to hedge or to defense about. All right. It says protect, cover, defense, defend, hedge in, join together, set, and shut up. All right. Now, this word is found 23 times within the Old Testament. So it's nowhere near as popular as Yeshai, which is found 205 times within the Old Testament, to let you know how much that word itself is being used. Okay. This word sakak is much more limited as far as its usage within the Old Testament. Let's look at a couple of examples, though, of this word being used in action, okay? The first one I want to go to is going to be from the book of Psalms. Let's go to Psalms, the 5th chapter, all right? Very lovely verse here. Psalm chapter 5, verse 11 says, "But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, will bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him as with a shield. Okay? So the point being that right here in verse 11 where it says, because thou defendest them, that's where we're going to find this word SAKAK. All right? So that's an example of it being used right there within the Old Testament. You see it here. This never wants to highlight when I'm trying to get it to highlight. It doesn't like my left thumb for whatever reason. You see the word here, okay? Because thou defendest them, the word is SAKAK, all right? But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. This is a very lovely, uplifting. I love these uplifting scriptures, man. These, keep you going scriptures. Let you know that you're still on the right track. Let you know that you're not abandoned by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because you know that within the best of your ability, you're doing the right thing according to the Lord. You're not lying to the people. All right. You're not giving them false information about the truth. Okay, you're not deceiving them. You're not softening it up so that way you can get more numbers. You're not charging them a fee for them to be able to receive the truth. You know that you're doing the right thing, and it's a comforting thing when you come across certain scriptures such as this that tells you that the ones that's putting their trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that they're going to be able to shout for joy because they're going to be defended by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This gives us hope to be able to face down all the turmoil that that's coming about. All right, that's coming down the pike. Okay, so you see it there. Thou defendest them. Let's look at an example in Psalms 91. All right, Psalms 91 is a all-time fan favorite, of course. Very beautiful chapter. Very, very beautiful chapter. Uplifting, joyful chapter. Okay, let's start right here at the top. I think the point's down a couple verses, but I want to start right here at the top because I like Psalms 91. It makes me feel good. All right. Psalms chapter 91, starting at verse 1, it says, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He will say of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor of the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Okay, so there's going to be a complete and total protection for those that truly have their trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now, through those scriptures that we just read, what we just read all the way down to verse 6, okay, through those, where do you think we're going to find our word SAKAK, which means to hedge about, to fence in, to defend, all right, so on and so forth? Where do you think we will find that word at? Where do you think it's hidden at here in Psalms chapter 91? That's the question, okay? And the actual answer is in verse 4 here where it says, He shall cover thee with His feathers. That's where we're going to find our word SAKAK. And just to show you that I ain't making this up, there it is, okay? It does not like my left. I'm going to stop trying to highlight it with my left thumb. It doesn't like my left thumb. All right, so SAKAK, He shall cover thee, all right? Remember, in that definition, let's look at this definition one more time. Oh, my God. Here we go. In this definition, the definition itself is to hedge, to fence about, to shut in, to block, overshadow, screen, stop the approach, shut off, cover. Okay, so it's kind of widespread in the way that it's being used. Okay, and this word SAKAK, well, we can tell you exactly how it's used. It tells you right here when you actually, Salakia, let's go back to it. Salakia. Here we go. When you actually hit this button here, it gives you a parsing. All right, it gives you pretty much a breakdown of the word itself, and it gives you a kind of a good amount of information. One of the important things that you can look at here is the stem, the verbal stem that's being used. Okay, so for this word SAKAK, it's being used in the hip feel. All right, which it's a ha, a pa, a I, and a la, hapile. All right, but it says hip hill because it's pronounced the small hat way. In this verbal, it's telling you that this word sakak is being used within that verbal stem. So when you actually look here at the word, when you look at the actual definition of it, in the biblical outside usages, you'll see right here, that's that verbal stem that it's talking about. So within that verbal stem, this word sakak means to screen over, to cover. It says defecate, all right, as a euphemism, all right. Am I saying that word correctly? Is that defecate? Or am I reading that right? Let me make sure I'm reading that right. Discharge feces from the body. Okay, defecate. Yep. I watched a video recently of not too long, some days back, of the elder Ariella. He was breaking down a video where some dude was saying defecate, but it was the wrong. The word wasn't actually defecate. The word was de deify. It's pretty much dealing with a deity. Okay. 1044 in the upper left hand corner. Call Allah Yimi Habashim Yashabashim Kakodash. Anyway, so defecate as a euphemism. All right. Take that how you will. All right. So to screen over, to cover, or to defecate. So when it's saying right here, it says, he shall cover. He shall cover thee under the wings. Let me read the scripture in English. It says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. So that covering, all right, that covering, let's look at that definition one more time. All right. So like it. He shall cover thee. When you look in here, it's to screen, to cover over. Okay. So the Lord's going to cover you, man. All right. Those that put their trust in him. Psalms 91 is a very beautiful chapter. All right. Hey, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Do a treat for yourself. Go read Psalms 91 today. Find some time within your day. All right. Take 5-10 minutes. It don't even take that long, really. It don't even take that long. Take a couple minutes out of your day and read Psalms 91. I can almost guarantee that after reading that chapter, you're going to feel better. All right. You're going to feel better. Let's look at one more example, and then I'll go ahead and close this out. We'll go to the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter. Okay. And I wanted to read this. This is Isaiah chapter 19. We're going to look at verse 1 and verse 2. It says, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay. It says, and in the spirit of Egypt, this is verse 3. I didn't plan on reading verse 3, but I might as well. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to wizards. Man, this scripture, we love bringing this scripture out because it's we apply it to the modern day Egypt, not the actual country called Egypt, but Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, as the scriptures describe it. All right. This is a place of bondage. All right. And it's the reason it's a place of bondage because it has taken captive the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native, and Seminole Indians, even into this very day. Okay. So the Lord, when it's talking about he's going to come up against Egypt, we know he's speaking about coming up against this place, Babylon the Great, which is, commonly referred to in today's terms as the United States of America. It says that I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. And we're seeing signs of that. All right. For anyone who got their eyes open, you know how divided this country is against each other. All right. To where you have families that are not participating in their wicked ass Thanksgiving with each other because of not being jump shotted up with the juice, or voting for DJT, or voting for let's go Brandon, you know. All kinds of things. The son is now wanting to be the daughter, and that drives in division. Okay, all kinds of things where you have actual Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor and city against city. We're seeing all of this. We're seeing this thing take place. And some of it leads to violence. Some of it is just, people separating and dividing themselves. Ultimately, it's going to come to extreme violence, man. Okay? That's why you gotta watch out when you're out there, when you're out and about in the public. You gotta watch out. You gotta keep your eyes open. All right, keep that head on the swivel. Okay, we're not in the time that it's not the same times that it was 15 years ago. It's not the same times that it was 20 years ago. Hell, it's not the same times that it was 5 years ago. Okay, shit, 2025 ain't even gonna be the same as it was in 2024. Let's just put that out there. All right. Anyway, back to this word sakak. When you look up at verse 2, right here where it says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, that's where we're going to find the word sakak. And you might be wondering, but wait, the word sakak means to hedge or to fence about, right? So why is it there for the word set? And I will set right here. It's like it. Try to do it with my left thumb. It's on the left hand side of my screen, so I try to do it with my left thumb, but it don't work. Okay. Anyway, why is the word sakak here for I will set? All right, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, because you have to remember that the word sakak has a wide range of usages here. Okay, and again, this is where this comes in handy, when you can hit this button right here and you can see this verbal stem. All right, you see that verbal stem right there. It says uh pile pile pale. Okay, it says pile pale. So you go into the actual definition here. We'll go into our Strong's definition. I don't know why it shut me all the way out. There we go. Go into our Strong's definition for the word sakak, and we'll look for that verbal stem, which is right here at the bottom. Okay, and what that means in this verbal stems, the word sakak means to weave or to weave together. All right, so I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. The Egyptians are being weaved together in against each other, though. Okay, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. I will weave the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's how you can read that. I will weave the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and you see that. It's not like it's just like one side of the city is against the other side of the city. No, it's you got it's polka dotted all within. Okay, you may have a portion of this city that thinks this way, but then inside that you're going to have little pockets of people who differ from that, and that's going to bring about even more division. That brings about even more confusion. That brings about even more destruction ultimately. Okay, because these people are so divided. You don't know. It's the person that's next door to you, their ideology is completely against the ideology that you support. Okay, your children's ideology is going to be completely against the ideology that you support, especially with all the momo-ness that they push into the schools, man. Okay, so just showing you examples. This is how this word sakak is being used. I hope you have a better understanding of that word. I challenge you, if you can, find a way to introduce this word into your vocabulary, man. Okay, the word sakak, meaning to hedge or even to fence about. All right, let's take one more look at it. To hedge, to fence about, to shut in, to block, to overshadow, screen, stop the approach, to shut off, to cover. Okay, all right, to cover oneself, protector, screen, cover, defecate as a euphemism. Okay, to cover, lay over, to weave together, to weave together, to weave and weave together. And you have plenty of examples of this word being used. Okay, so anyway, continue to cry out until Yahweh Shemi Al Shai in hopes that we can get the fuck up out of this place, man. Until next time, I'm gonna go ahead and say shalom.